back to the channel. Today we're going to bring you along on Harvest 2021. In a minute we're going to fire up the New Holland CR920 combine. We're going to bring you guys along today. I hope you enjoy. We are at an undisclosed location. You can see in this building we have several goodies stashed. If anyone was curious, I still have the oh so beautiful 510 Bearcat just waiting. This unit is still set up for clover. I need to pull it into the shop and pull the throat off, pull all the clover components out, but that's a video for another day. We have our New Holland corn head sitting here, leaking oh so profusely. We haven't used this unit yet. We just bought it to match up to our New Holland CR920 combine. This combine works really well for us. We got a smoking deal on it. It's low hours, but the poor girl had set out most of her life. She's been all around the country, and this was a research group's combine. And like I said, it's low hours. It's set out, it's faded, a few dings and dents, but it is a lot quieter than the beautiful Bearcat. We also have our swathers, some extra heads. That's the head for the Bearcat, 13-footer. Dummy head over here. My beautiful International 470 disc. This is a true 12-foot disc. It's not the one where they just take the fold-down props off and say it's a 12-foot. This thing is awesome, really awesome. Hope to do some tillage next spring. And we also have our International swather in here on blocks, so we're keeping the tires in good shape, things of that nature. I've rambled on long enough. Let's go ahead and get this girl fired up. We have arrived at our destination. I have all the doors installed using my huge slab of cardboard. We can go ahead and fire the old girl up. Roars right to life. We're still working on getting a better monitor for this thing. This one has set out so long that it's brittle, so the back has broke out. We've got the masking tape holding it together at the moment. Slowly working on that. We're gonna go ahead, get you guys mounted up, and then we're gonna go pick up our head right over there. We'll bring you along.
Helm Warp 1, engage!
We have our head all hooked up. I made the only adjustment that I can make. The reel cylinder right here was in this hole, and when we bought the combine, the previous owners, the research center, they had this pinned up rigid, and they cut off about that much, about I don't know, 3 inches of all of the teeth. My niece, she sat under the shade tree and she changed all 100,000 of these. Grateful to her. I've changed it on this side as well. You can see, hopefully we won't have to change that back, but if we do, it's not a big deal. We have this side hooked up. We're just about ready to get started. I've got to confirm my settings in the cab, and then we'll buzz around the block and start cutting at my house. We've made it 3/4 of the way around the field, and our header height sensor on the left-hand side is starting to give us a little bit of trouble, so we may have to cut manually. We're adjusting our potentiometer right here. There's a really good guy at Midwest Tractor that is helping us. Otherwise, we're just going to have to cut manual. We're going to bring you guys along regardless of what happens. I've cut manual for years with an old 510. I think I can handle it, especially with a nice flex header. And this field is pretty level. Combine's doing a really nice job. We're really not missing anything. This was cut manual right here. We are getting a little bit of shatter out right in the grain table, but otherwise nothing really to complain about. Like I said, we'll bring you guys along, whatever happens. We're making our first trip around the field. You can see we got quite a bit of weeds right here. The sprayer boom did not get over this far close to the corn. And this is a small 4.5 acre field. Combine snizzling right through. Going nice and slow. We are cutting manually. Our left side potentiometer is out of calibration or has gone bad. Once we get the edges of the field established, I'll put Charlie in the cab and get some good action shots for you guys. We've got Charlie in the cab. Combine is snizzling right along. Charlie's getting lined up. It does stink that we're cutting manually, but we will survive. I apologize for any wind in the video. We are out here on the prairie land after all. It's a gorgeous day to be combining. Mid-60s. Can't ask for a nicer day. If you've enjoyed the video so far, please consider smashing the like button, hitting subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of future videos. Really helps the channel grow. Share the video on your social media platforms as well. Let's get lined up here. Listen to Charlie roar past the big old New Holland CR920. See, we are a little bit wet. Charlie's getting some ridging going on from his tires, but we're able to travel. We've got our four-wheel drive locked in, and even cutting manually, it's doing a really good job. We're able to just keep it floating within about that much of a range or so. It's doing a good job. We're just about finished with the 3-acre part of the 4.5-acre field, and then right over there we've got a little bit more to do. We'll bring you guys along. Charles and I have our first full hopper. You can see our unload indicator right over there. Charlie's running the auger out. It's a long old thing. Now we've got to back up and get close to our wagon. This is Charlie's Case 730 propane that he grew up on. This was in the previous video where he was out trimming trees with the skid steer and the telly clip. Got a pretty clean sample, just using the settings that the book talked about, and we were thrashing it out perfectly when we checked our sample coming out of the butt. Awesome. This combine really moves the grain. Very impressed with it. I'm sure the newer ones are much better. However, we can't afford those, and this is quite an improvement off of the older Masseys. Will stow the auger. All right, let's start rolling. We're back in the cab, rolling right along. Flip around here, show you the sample that's coming in the grain tank. One thing about this new combine, the cab is certainly quiet. In all of my old videos, I was always screaming at the camera in the old Massey Ferguson with the Perkins diesel engine screaming right beside me. They certainly have made some improvements over the years. Clipping right along at 2.5 to 3 miles per hour. Almost got the 4-acre field completely finished. We are finishing the last swag of the 3-acre field. Combine traveled nicely, even though it is just a little wet. Now we'll have just a couple of the small patches up closer to my house. You can see it coming in the hopper here. Please remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you haven't already. It really helps the channel grow. That's it for the 3 acres. We're on to the small patches. Charlie is just getting started unloading. This is our Kill Bros Model 385 wagon. Has the Kill Bros running gear as well. We grabbed this out of Oxford, Indiana. It was a nice find, got a pretty good deal on it. As soon as he's done unloading, we're going to take the K730 Comfort King and weigh these babies. See how the yield did. We'll bring you guys along. Charlie's finished unloading. Like I said, we'll do the calculations here in a minute. This field is 4.5 to 5 acres. I have to check my paperwork. That combine is really, really nice. Traveled well. We didn't have any issues other than a potentiometer on this side of the head has went out. We've got 2 of them coming. We'll change them both at the same time. Charlie's guess, just from looking in the wagon, is 233 bushels. We will see if he is correct. Oh, we might have some good soybean weight in there. Cut some ruts in the nice grass. That's real nice. I think with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up cutting for the evening. We've got the small field next to my house done. Trying to dodge this big nasty ditch here. This is my house right here. And I have this 1 acre swag here. And then I think that's 3.5 or 4. I can't quite remember. I'll have to check my my paperwork like I mentioned earlier. We're parked in the shed here. It barely fit in. We can't close the doors, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We have so much equipment in here for the main business that we work at. Charles' guess was 233 bushels, and he was pretty close. It was 231.83 bushels. He's been at it a lot longer than I have. He's pretty good like that. Gonna go ahead and wrap this up for the evening. Thank you guys for watching so far. We'll bring you guys along on the next field we have to cut tomorrow or Friday. It is the following day. We have our TC45DA hydrostatic tractor hooked up to our west field auger. We're getting ready to dump the beans that were on my field. And Charles has another wagon ready at the 11 acres. We'll bring you guys along. We are pumping grain, as you can see. Pretty good sample. I really love this auger setup. Works well for us as an 8061. 8 inch is really all the bigger we need. We're here at the rear bin site. Just pumping grain. We'll probably check back in once we're in the field. You guys have seen plenty of this, I'm sure, in other videos and on your own farm. We'll check back in later. We are finishing off the last of the 11 acre field. I apologize, I was not able to get any footage. My nephew's up in the wagon. He doesn't want to be on camera. That's all right. He's doing our final sweep out of the wagon. Then we have to move to our next bin and get set up to receive beans from the 43 acres that my cousin is currently cutting on our farm south of town here. Looks like he's got this cleaned out. I'll quit yakking, get everything shut down, slow him down just a little. That keeps him from throwing stuff out too far. then we can idle our tractor down, save on some wear and tear. Special shout out to my niece who detailed this tractor. Did an awesome job. We're already mucking it up again, of course. Cleaned all the glass. I really hated to put it on auger duty. Oh, he's done. Hot dog. PTO off. Idle down. That's going to wrap up my 4.5 acres, I believe, and Charlie's 11-acre patch. All in that grain bin. We will have figures toward the end of the video. We've got to move the beautiful CR920 and move the auger to the next bin site. Keep things separate. We'll check back in later. We have moved bin location. We're pumping in to the grain bin next to the main shop. Rain is flowing. We're starting on the 43-acre patch. Hopefully you can hear me. Try to keep this full right here, so you're pumping the maximum amount you can pump. Got a pretty good sample. Got us a delicious stink bug here. We're pumping grain. We'll check back in with you guys a little later. Charles is using the beautiful CR920 to pull the wagons one at a time. Up into the old seed processing plant. My cousin's tractor with the duals on it only has about 1.5 inches on each side for room to spare. So we pull them in with the narrow 730. Then we weigh them right in the old seed processing plant. Then we move them into the grain bin. We're still pumping grain. Check back in a little later. Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a few weeks since I shot any footage for the Harvest 2021 video. You can see we have heavy jack frost. The trees are starting to turn a beautiful dull red. I have just a few things I have to do this morning, and then we're going to go over the totals that each field produced. I apologize for my absence on the channel. If you can't tell, I'm a little stuffed up. I have a nasty head cold that's been going around, and I haven't posted in a couple of weeks. So we're gonna get the soybean averages out of all of the fields. We're gonna bring you guys along. I have finished all of my field measurements for the day. We are looking at the small field next to my house. This field came up to 4.19 acres. I was able to measure this using an awesome app. I will roll a picture of that measurement in now. You can see that it measures in hectares, so we had to do a conversion online. And the soybean yield for this field was 55.28 bushel per acre. That's pretty good in my book. These are a non-GMO variety, and with this variety we are able to get $2.50 above the price when we decide to sell. So if we sell them at $10, we get $12.50. We'll move on now to Charlie's 11-acre field, and it actually does not come up to 11 acres. We measured it as well. We are out on Charlie's 11-acre field. This is the field with the waterway. I will roll a picture in of the measurements I took using that app now. With that measurement, we were able to come up with 9.84 tillable acres, and Charlie got 57.94 bushels per acre off of this field, which is awesome. Charlie wins this year for bushels per acre. These beans obviously do not perform as well as your Roundup Readies and things of that nature. However, them being non-GMO, we get that $2.50 premium when we decide to sell them. So that really helps out. And we like growing the non-GMO beans, and we don't have a lot of acres to do it on, so this is just what we do and we enjoy it. With all of that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up right here. I'd like to thank you all for coming along on the adventure. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe for more, and we'll see you guys next time.